Hey everybody, Jay Barino here, and welcome back. It's UEDAIP. We're on Mission 3 of the New Dominion. The mod description for this map is a scrappy defense against overwhelming Alpha Squadron forces. The player has to learn and use the Balrog brood mechanics. Map terrain is adjusted to emphasize the additional macro focus. Optional bank to grab infested command centers for vZ3. Okay, let's check it out. Skip. I tried to take note of the new layout for the map as well. I see white. Zerg, okay. Where's the chrysalis? Here's the chrysalis.
Our creator bestows you with such affection, but we will do our utmost to facilitate the ordeal. And when your minions surrender and the swarm shall prosper.
Send minions into the sacrificial area marked by a beacon to appease the Balrog Cerebrit. More expensive units give more resources and appease Balrog for longer. Infest command centers for later use. What do you mean, appease him? We got great vision across the map. Okay, well there's the beacon. Should we just feed him stuff that we already have? Wait, these are Kakalzas. Non-diminishing bounce for 13 damage. That's actually very strong, so we're not going to feed him those, but what do we want to feed to Balrog Lord? And also, sacrifice Zerg to Balrog Brood to break through their defenses. Feed Balrog often enough to sate its hunger. Oh, I just noticed this up here. So I think the idea is we give them units to give them resources. And if they're ever out of resources, I assume that sate its hunger means that they may go hostile to us, interestingly enough. But they've got pretty high tier stuff. Interesting. Okay, alright. So I'm just going to make a bunch of drones just to get started here. We can always just spam Zerglings into him if necessary. I'm going to focus on defending my left flank here. And then eventually come over here and take this base. And then eventually we got to also start sacrificing units. Like, we could just give him a few things, right? We don't have to give him a lot at the beginning here, but just give him a few Zerglings just to make sure. They do mine as well. I just wonder how often they would be mad at us, you know? Like, what counts as them being upset? But I think I'm going to focus a defense up here, because there's this ramp right here. First and foremost. Okay, yeah, you can kill those, that's fine. I guess we could sack drones. That doesn't seem like a great use of our resources. I'm excited about these Kakalza. We're going to try to not let them die. Maybe let's fly them over here. Oh, and Guardians are a lot better now, too. The Guardians, the way Guardians work, they have an anti-air attack now, and they do, like, random splash attacks. Okay, well, I gave you some drones. You're welcome. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and just keep getting more colonies set up along the edge here. I think this is the right choice. I'm going to get an Evo chamber as well. Do I have a Hydra den? I think it was up here by the... Yeah, it's by the Chrysalis. So we want to start getting some Hydras. We could sacrifice them. Just going to keep sacrificing stuff to white. It seems like we can rely on white to actually do a lot for us here. I love the mass fire bat attacks. I genuinely love them. We're probably going to want to get an early lair. Kakalza get up here and help us out. Dude, the non-diminishing bounce with these things is actually pretty incredible. Okay, no joke about the scrappy defense, that's for sure. Get another round. Balrog's going to need some money soon. So we got these drones coming up, but then after that, we've got to send stuff over to give it to them. Hotkey. We'll give them some Hydras for now. I wonder if giving them Mutas would actually be the best use of our resources. Mutas, I think, would actually be fewer resources, rather, to do. We're also going to make sure we get enough anti-air. And just to stress, these attacks are large, so we want to make sure that we fully fortify this position before we really do anything else. I'm just going to get 2 more colonies, and then I'm going to save up money to go ahead and take this up here as well. Actually, let's do that first if possible. We have to defend that area, though, separately now, unfortunately. Okay, you're doing your thing. Become a spore colony, please. Actually, we probably don't need it anymore. The Kakulza really did it. Man, that non-diminishing bounce is pretty incredible here. You'll love to see it. Okay, white is doing its best for us. Let's go ahead and just continue sending Hydras over to them. Give them a group of Hydras. I mean, white is doing something. They are pushing. Let's go ahead and save. I think we've had a decent start here. We want to get this saturated ASAP. Could definitely afford to have more drones here at home, and let's go ahead and get an Overlord. I wonder what the actual most efficient use of our resources is to feed them. Look at this. Trying to get around us to get to the Chrysalis, I guess. Don't do that. Don't do that. We'll just go ahead and send these guys out. I'm just gonna make more units to feed Balrog. That honestly seems like some of the best usage of our money right now. It's like we use them to make progress. I think it's really cool. We use them to make progress through the, like, offensively, and otherwise we focus on defense. I think is actually really interesting. Next step is going to be trying to get this defense all set up, which is difficult. What are you doing? Yep, perfect. Go ahead and just keep eating my stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get a round of drones up here so that we can build defense. This is okay, but, you know, fairly weak. I want to make sure I get that upgrade that allows my sunken colonies to regen even faster. At least, you know, we can force them to have to remake the dropships. That alone is going to be pretty nice. Don't chase the fire bats. It's fine. Okay, I don't know if spores along the edge here would actually be that useful or not, but we have to get some defense here. And stop them from dropping in these locations. It's a bit of a pain. Okay, it said scrappy attacking, so that's, you know, that's what we're doing. Or scrappy defending, I should say. What are you? Zergorger? Crusher Jaws? I wonder if they just function like normal Devourers. I'd like to see them attack something. I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to see them attack something. Okay, let's go ahead and get a Spire. Keep getting upgrades. I've neglected my upgrades, so I'm going to go ahead and actually grab double Evo Chamber, Zergling Boost, and I guess more gas. We're going to need those for later. I don't want them to be able to hold on to that base either. Looks like we're going to need to feed our buddies here pretty soon, so let's go ahead and give them some Hydras and Zerglings. And we need to camp more units around here where possible. Overlord speed, not super necessary. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's continue. I could just have I could just have that layer continue to just rally straight to Balrog instead. And I would love to upgrade my Kakulza attacks as well. Seems great. I'm trying to kill the dropships. If we can force them to have to rebuild the dropships, that's excellent. Okay, get over there and get fed. Get fed some more. I obviously don't want to just be throwing away units where possible. Just have to keep making more and more colonies along the edge here. And so long as we keep feeding Balrog, like I'd said, I think we actually want to just store up a bunch of money and then just blast as much as possible towards Balrog all at once. Hey, he made some progress up here. I'd love it if we could destroy that expansion. We could even take that ourselves and set up a bunch of defense along this edge. Okay, and this is decently saturated, so I feel better about that.
Our forces are under attack.
I think, honestly, colonies in general just feel very strong. I'm loving them. Okay, that stuff's coming up. Let's go and get flyer attacks. You Hydras, go ahead and feed. I'd love to just send, a ton at once. A ton at once over to Balrog. That way they can defend themselves, but also maybe get some more forward pressure on Red. Again, I don't like Red being able to hold on to this location, but our allies getting their upgrades. Once they get all their upgrades, they'll have less that they need to spend their money on as well. Yeah, they make Scourge, Ultralisks, Guardians. That's good stuff. You can keep all this really well defended. Don't tell me that can actually hit stuff from up there. Of course it can. We gotta kill this Wraith, that way that they can't see up hill anymore. There it is. I don't know. That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and actually make some real units to defend myself with. Hydras and Mutas. Quite necessary. We're going to keep losing drones at this base, too. It's kind of hard to hold on to. I don't feel super comfortable being able to get up here. Dude, look at my spawned Broodling. Doing the Lord's work. There we go. And then let's check our upgrades again. Those are coming up. We have a group of Hydras here that we can actually use. Though, Mass Muta is always pretty powerful on this map, with the way that it's laid out. I mean, you can try and land here. You're not going to get much done, dog. So our burrowed units, it said our burrowed units also regen faster, so I think let's go ahead and make some burrowed units. Or get burrow, I should say. Go get them, buddy. I want to see those Gorgers in action and see how they work. Pretty large attacks coming over on the left. Let's get some more sunken colonies along this edge.
The hive cluster is under attack.
This one Ultralisk is just sitting in here and constantly being kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and feed our buddy.
Spawn more overlords.
I'll make these into overlords. I have to be careful that I don't accidentally rally them, though. Here, let's go ahead and rally up towards here. Oh, I lost a Kakalza. It got drawn into something. It's a waste, because at the very least, I could try to... At the very least, I could have fed the Kakalza to my allies, and that would have helped a lot. Let's go ahead and get some more overlords. This is a really cool concept. I like this quite a bit. Flyer attacks. Dude, look at him go! Yeah, you gotta feed him. I want to see these things actually attack something and see how they work. They're melee. Interesting. Yeah, White's not going to be able to bust through that unless we're there to help him, unfortunately. I'm going to have to try to push up the left myself. Let's go ahead and feed some Mutas. That's a big investment, but again, I would almost rather just make sure that they're sated before we do anything crazy. Yeah, this is pretty well defended. I need to be able to get up in there and destroy that next. Let's make sure our Zerglings are upgraded. Once these No, don't attack my overlord, you jerk. I mean, that's my fault. That's where I rallied them. But next rounds of stuff, I'm going to go to make mutas. We're going to attack with white with mutas and hydras. I might even want to try and poke in here, especially since white just attacked and sort of softened up red, or at least gave us vision on the fact that red doesn't have that much stuff up here. I just don't want them getting free resources from this location. So I think this is how we do it. We'll go ahead and get some Zerglings. I think this is where those Cacals will really come into play, too. Back up here. Again, I can eventually be able to get up there to destroy the CC, but for right now, not necessary. Try to regen what we can. No! Oh, no. Those were just my normal mutas that apparently I rallied up there. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to make Zerglings, but... +2 here, on the way. Oh, I made Scourge? Apparently I made Scourge. Okay, this right side is actually not primed to be attacked right now. Balrog looking good on their resources. Actually, we can... What's cool here, in this circumstance, we can see Red's resources and understand what impact we're having on them, which I think is actually really, really cool. Okay, we're at least attacking this, right? Yeah, okay. Sunken can hit that. We're all set. I don't even think that's worth trying to cram another thing in. Yeah, look how fast those regen. Let's make one more round of army units. You know what? And then you four just come on down here and feed the Balrog brood. What's cool about this specific mechanic as well is that it plays really well with the concept that I talked about in the very first video for the Zerg series here, which is how the resource mechanics work. It's very, very clever to kind of show, number one, the enemy's constrained by resources, but so are your allies. And in fact, your allies can help a lot if they have the money to do so. I just made a round of Zerglings and Hydras to go ahead and try and punch into this. These things seem okay, but they're too slow. It seems like they do a butt-ton of damage, but they're just really, really slow. But look at that. They can, like, two-shot rates. That's pretty sick. Decently large attack there, but not big enough to be a threat. More units going over to Balrog. I'm at the point now where I can start spending a lot of money on myself, but... Okay, that's mine. It's alright, we got one spore here. That's all we need to defend us. I would love to get up here and just set up defense, or we could just push for the win. You know what? I think we're going to go with white here. I don't know why I was trying to say yellow, but we're going to go with them. I need to get Overlord speed. Okay, only one Kakulza left. No, I think we have two. Yeah, and look at that. So both players are actually out of resources right now. I need to feed my partner or they're going to be upset. And then you just make mutas and rally up here. I'm just going to go with them. Mutas, yeah, we can leave the mutas back. We can use them a little more tactically. Yeah, you know, it's hard because I'm also playing the game, and it's kind of hard to pay attention, but I really can't stress how well this mission does in the context of UEDAIP, and actually emphasizing how the way resources function for computer players, both allied and not, is actually really, really key. Oh, and we want to be infesting stuff, right? Let's try and get at least one command center. I don't know how many command centers we're going to need. Yeah, that's fine. You can take my mutas. Okay, now white is swimming in money, and the enemy is getting roasted. So I want to try... I'm just going to let white do his thing and hang back for a little bit, and try to get a queen out so we can infest at least one command center. So that's going to take a while, but because red doesn't have much money, we should have the opportunity to do it. Let's see. We're all set on upgrades here. We can get +2 air. have some more Hydras, and I'm going to make some more for myself. Actually, I'm going to make some more Mutas for myself. Alright, and then 240, 240. Quite a bit. Definitely could afford some more hatcheries at this point. In fact, let's just go ahead and... Well, you know what? Might as well come up here and take this base, because why not? Let us feed our ally a little bit more. Also kind of an interesting concept to have to pay attention with how we pay our ally.
Our forces are under attack.
I sort of wish that these units that you send over here just instantly died. Granted, you know, that could result in maybe too many mistakes. You fly some overlords over there and you're like, wait, I didn't mean, you know, to kill those, so you can kind of pull them out if you need. I understand. One thing I would kind of want to do, too, because it would be funny, is just feed my entire existing supply to Balrog and see if they'll go ahead and push through and win. They never at any point got upset with me, so I don't know if it's like if they have 0 resources is when they'd get mad. I don't know. We have the potential to run out of resources here eventually, but we have a lot saved up, so I think we're fine. But, like, I can't directly transfer that to white. That's why, see, even just destroying their dropships, making them have to remake them is pretty significant here. Let's also increase sight range here so we can go ahead and steal that. I'm just going to make multiple queens, because they're going to end up running into stuff, and I don't want them to. How dare you attack my brand spanking new hatchery? Silly Marines. So the enemies, I mean, they're spending their money quick. That's the thing. They spend their money, and then they make an attempt to attack us with it, but then all that money's down the drain because they're going to lose a lot of what they spent to go and try and push up this ramp. We got some side vessels here that thankfully don't D-matrix. No, they do D-matrix. What they don't do is irradiate. More overlords up here. Okay, and now with the amount of money saved, I think our ally is probably going to be able to push, at least get up this ramp. Again, every little bit when they get through, and then the Terran aren't going to be able to repair or rebuild a lot of these structures and stuff, which allows us to be able to push up there ourselves. Okay, overlords, and let's go ahead and feed them, because they might be getting upset here pretty soon. Just every tank we kill here, very valuable. We need gas. Feed them. Keep making Zerglings. I'm just going to make a large force for when I want to finally bust through and do this all myself. I wish that white wasn't spending their money on these Gorgers. I can only imagine these still morph straight from... those still morph straight from Mutalisks. I can't be sure, but I'm just imagining. The other thing I have to be wary of, and I'll save right before we get there, is our ally may end up killing command centers before we have the opportunity to infest them. So we can save scum that where necessary in order to make sure that we can get them. Because I feel like I probably could have pushed for a win by now, but it's not super necessary yet. Let's push down the ramp. Looks like white's trying to go and attack here with a bunch of Hydras. So this is a great time to go and attack. Let's burn red through the majority of their remaining resources. Rally up with Zerglings. And we're going to go up this way. Okay, perfect. And let's go ahead and save just to make sure that we don't accidentally kill the command center before we can steal them. In fact, I'm going to attack it now just to ensure that I can try and take it before white starts focusing on it. Got it. Okay, that's one. So then I'm going to save again. And I'll try and take another one. I mean, why not? And the more important thing, too, is we're up this ramp. Once you're up one of these ramps, it's so much easier, because these ramps over here are very, very difficult to push up through. Are they upset? They might be getting upset here pretty soon. Is this where I really rallied a lot of this stuff? Okay, all of you go ahead and get eaten. We still don't want our ally to be upset to the point where they'll kill us. Again, very cool concept, and it's taught to you because it's basically like if you don't follow that rule and you don't like interact with that in any way, then they'll kill you, or there's a threat that they'll kill you. I don't know if they would actually like fully murder you or what, but really cool stuff. And then alternatively, I don't know if it was up to Nekron, would he display the enemy resources as well? That I don't know. But regardless, okay, there we go. So we got 2 command centers. There was a potential to get 3 if we would have wanted to infest this one, but honestly, I almost completely forgot about that optional objective until we started pushing up here, and I noticed there was another command center there. But we got 2 infest command centers for later use. I don't know if it's like you get as many as you infest. I mean, it's plural command centers. It might just be you get as many as you infest. Realistically, I think you really only need 1 in any given circumstance on any given map. 1 infested command center is enough.
You dirty bastards, fall back. Fall back.
Hold, Celebrants. Do not pursue them.
Celebrants, you must stay and relocate the chrysalis to a more secure location.
So, while this map isn't on its face as complex as some of the later missions from the other campaigns that I've played, like the really difficult ones, I actually think this is potentially one of the best maps in UEDAIP. Going with, I guess, the tradition. I can only think of one other campaign. I was going to say there's a tradition, but I really like the 3rd mission of the Brood War Protoss campaign too. So I was thinking mission 3s are always bangers in this campaign. But I mean, I think the Rebel Yell mission 3, the holdout, was really good too, because in that one in particular, you really had to learn the differences with the Terran infantry tier 1 stuff. It's very, very important. So and then for the Protoss Brood War 1, there was like the loose map control and trying to save as much of the outlying infrastructure as possible was really, really fun. So again, I think this is one of the best maps, if only because it forces you to learn how to interact with something that UEDAIP does that's pretty special compared to a lot of other projects, relative to other projects that don't really interact with resources the same way when it comes to computer players. And again, it forces you to do that. Now, normally, if you force the player to do something, a lot of people think on its face it's bad, taking away player freedom, blah, blah, blah. I disagree with this almost entirely. This is a totally different topic, but in some circumstances, by forcing the player to use a system that they're not familiar with, even though they might not want to initially, in many instances may result in them having a lot more fun. And I think this is a circumstance where it's like, hey, did you know that resources actually matter when it comes to your allies and enemies in this project? If you didn't, well, here's kind of a crash course, and you're forced to do it at least once for 1 map. Have fun. And yeah, I think it's fantastic. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.